No. Opposed.
I'm sorry, but we cannot hear you.
We can hear that.
Can you hear us now?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. All right. Well, we just called the meeting to order and we just did roll call. Next item is citizen comments on matters within the board's jurisdiction, not on the agenda. And we have a 3-minute time restriction for each comment. And I'll start in the City Hall chambers here. Does anybody have, Betsy, would you like to come up and?
Sure. Get my 3 minutes in. I'm here for the item that is not on the agenda, but is on our mind, and that is the Lions Park proposal for an ice skating rink.
Okay.
And so first of all, thank you all for doing this. Those of us that really appreciate parks, appreciate your taking time to do this. And we also appreciate Mr. Markle's oversight. I think he's doing a great job maintaining our city infrastructure, including parks. So I want to just point out some things I haven't before, and just remind you of some things that I know that you are concerned about as well. Number one, the scope of the proposed project here is not just the $400,000 before us in the city property, but it's a $1.8 million project total. That's just the cost of construction. When you talk about how that's going to be paid, $800,000 is resort tax, and that's money that's earmarked for parks. So I'm going to contend that you think about other ways that could be used for parks in the city. It doesn't include the cost of operating this park, and that includes $5,000 a month for electricity, which is not going to be resort tax. It's going to be city budget. It's going to be equipment upkeep and maintenance. It's going to be management, because this is a major thing. It's going to need extra city staff to monitor it, including perhaps even police, to make sure that it's not misused. This is a significant central park. I'm going to reinstate that because it is our Pioneer Park. It's our central park. And if you cement it over, it's gone permanently. You're not going to jackhammer this cement up in our lifetime or our grandchildren's. Environmental issues. Okay, we're talking about energy use. We're talking about impermeable surfaces, which is against our city policy to cover up what would be 17,000 square feet with concrete, 200 by 85. And that doesn't include the pads for the generators or the Zamboni building. It's significant coverage of permeable surface. The decibels of noise, which will come out, and maybe have even come out in Brian Hanna's report. 5 generators, 24/7 for 4 months. The water use, the availability of city water to fill it and maintain it is in question. Right now we need to understand what our capacities are for that, and the drainage of it is also an issue. I want you to consider the options of this proposed project. Different location, or a temporary pad. That's in the discussion too, so that we can have grass the rest of the year. This is our last stretch of grass that we can throw frisbees on and picnic in and whatnot. So a temporary rink should be considered. An alternative park project. There are lots of parks here. You guys have had a tour of it. You know how extensive our park system is. And the final option is not use the tourist grant for this project.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I give you copies. Give you copies.
Okay, good.
Okay, summary of that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Any other comments from the room here? Citizens' comments? No? Seeing none, we'll go online. Any comments from the viewers online? Okay. Going once, going twice, 3 times? Okay, we'll move on. Thank you very much. Okay, the next action is approval of the agenda and the minutes of the February 4th, 2026 meeting. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll move to approve. I'll second.
Okay, approved second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, that's all been approved. We're going to move down to the discussion items with possible action. We've got a new item I put on here. It's called Chairperson's Report. And I put that on there because it seems like with all the projects that we've got going on in the city, there's some correspondence and things that go on that maybe necessarily don't come to the light during the meeting. And they're really not anything that we need to take action on, but I think it's a good idea to update fellow board members in the audience out there what I've been up to, so you can keep track of me a little bit. But so there's about 3 items I wanted to talk about that have come up since the last meeting. A couple of weeks ago, and Steve Wrights is here. Nick Gaddy and I met with Steve up at his residence, and that's the location. He's next door to the location where I think we call it the O'Neill Trailhead and Trail, up on just off Word and 8th Avenue. And we went up there to just kind of take a look at the ground and the site up there, and to see what kind of impacts that may have. And we looked at, and Steve, you can kind of join in on this if you care to make some comments, but we looked at the possible alignments of the trail and how it would go up that hill on the west bench. We also looked at some possible locations of where the trailhead might be. And then we were also kind of concerned about how can this project be developed so that it doesn't cause negative impacts for abutting property owners. And we came up with some ideas, and nothing, carved in granite at any point at this time, but it was just good to get up there and kind of see what kind of challenges and what kind of opportunities we have. And I want to make a point that Mr. Wrights is an abutting property owner, and I'm probably going to put words into your mouth here. You're supportive of the project, but you do have some concerns about about what kind of impacts your property may have as a result. So, and we probably spent a good hour out there. It was a good little get together, good meeting. You have anything you want to add to that?
No, not really. I think maybe at a later date I can, fill people in on what I've been there for 24 years, and I kind of know what goes on in the corner there.
Sure.
Triangle piece of town.
Yeah.
And I think maybe at a future time I can give my 24 years of what I've known.
Sure. And I guess the other remark I would make is that Nick Gaddy has stated that this project is a really high priority project for Beartooth Trails. Maybe one of 2 of their highest priorities for the coming year. And so there's an opportunity that this may become a reality, sooner than we think. And as this idea progresses, we'll have more opportunities to talk with you and other neighbors about the impact of that project. The other thing I'd like to report about is the mayor asked me to be on the selection committee for firms that specialize in tourism planning. As part of the pilot community tourism development grant that has been awarded to the city, and also the Red Lodge Area Community Foundation, they've solicited proposals from, I think they had 4 different firms that plan and help cities plan for future developments that are to enhance tourism in their communities. And so we had about 5 or 6 people on this committee. We met on February 20th and reviewed the proposals, and we all came to a unified decision of which proposal we like the best. I'm not going to mention the name of that firm at this time. I'm going to wait till the committee that's in charge of the project decides what they're going to do. But it was a really interesting, worthwhile exercise to go through. I thought the Red Lodge Area Community Foundation is it Mary Vett? Mary Vett. I thought she did a good job of preparing for that meeting, having a little score sheet and a set of criteria and a matrix for us to all go through and to grade the projects. So it was a good discussion. And the third thing I'd like to report on is the mayor has made an announcement, or has told me that he's going to make an announcement at the next city council meeting about the open position we have on our board. And we'll begin advertising for that position so that we can fill it. So I think we've got a whole bunch of candidates right out here in the room here that may want to consider applying for that position on the board. And that's all I have. Are there any questions regarding?
Yes, I have
Things
a lot
are-
of questions.
A lot of questions, okay?
For number one, briefly, can you say what are just briefly, what is a challenge and an opportunity on that trail?
Well, the opportunity is, the opportunity is, I think, pretty obvious, and it does provide us another trail that connects the downtown core area up to the west bench. We have the one trail that's not really connecting with downtown necessarily, it's the
McGillen.
the McGillen?
Yep.
The McGillen Trail.
Yep.
And so that would be nice because you could have kind of a loop,
The
pedestrian
challenge, I'm
walkway
assuming,
through
is
there.
the steepness.
The challenge is the grade,
Okay.
the topography of the site. The challenge being, right in between, right within a neighborhood area and having abutting property owners. And just, I guess probably those are probably the two biggest challenges,
On number two, are you?
I can probably talk to that if you like.
Okay.
On behalf of Beartooth Trails, we've done a lot more than I think where you're at.
Well, just briefly, what exactly you're looking at.
Yeah, so we met with Greg, so this is Beartooth Trails talking now. We met with Greg twice. One, we walked the whole piece of property that he wants to carve out, which is roughly an acre, which goes from, when you take the airport loop trail and it cuts across the road coming east right there, it would just cut right left into his property and go along the fence. And then it would attempt to maintain a 10-degree grade or less, so that it would be conducive. What's that? Percent, yeah,
Yeah.
sorry. James was there with me doing this, and so in other words, just a nice, normal, accessible to the average person and older folks that might be have mobility issues. We're trying to keep it in that sort of grade. And yesterday we flagged it out, what it would look like. It's got about 5 switchbacks. And then it ends basically where 8th Street. If 8th Street just continued straight up and then hits the fence line for the O'Neill property, it's going to end somewhere in there on some type of bridge or stairs, because that hillside is completely, it's just wet. It's just a complete mush pile at the bottom there.
Okay.
So you're more than welcome to go take a look at it and kind of take a peek.
Is it flagged or anything?
It's all flagged,
Okay.
sprayed, the corners are done.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, Greg looked at it. We've got a loose thumbs up from him. He's going to have it surveyed next week to see what kind of piece of property he has to cut out to fit the trail we put in it. And if he's happy with that, then he'll move forward with giving it to the city to some capacity, and Beartooth Trails will build it. The goal is that we'll have an agreement amongst all the players, city, Beartooth Trails, and Greg, and have that thing built in the spring to maybe June. Yeah. Lots of questions on how it's going to go through that little pocket park down there and avoid Wooley's, property and not have everyone staring at his house trying to kind of get eyes. It's Wooley, correct, sir? Yeah. And just kind of keep eyes off of their place, and want that little park and then go up the hill.
Kind of direct the traffic away.
Exactly. Parking, all that stuff. But as far as just like the trail itself on the hillside, that'll probably go in pretty quick. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, my second question is, I don't know if you can tell us, but can you tell us who the 5 people are on the Tourism Grant Selection Committee? I'm concerned if there's anybody on the steering committee on this group
Okay.
too.
I'll try to do that. Let's see, we had Bill Foisey.
Okay.
We had Brian Hanna, myself. We had B.R. Walker. And there was another lady on there that I can't recall her name right now.
Okay.
I think the last name starts with a W. I think she's part of the pilot grant committee, but
Sherry Weimer?
I think that's who it
Oh,
was.
the chamber director, yes.
Was that Sherry? Okay,
Yeah.
I haven't met her until then,
So-
okay.
And this is for the the tourism.
Yeah.
part.
Mhm.
And I would think you'd want the chamber director
Yeah,
probably
yep.
on that as representative for the businesses and the
Was
chamber.
it for this tourism grant or for the next one?
For this one, yeah. We have a budget, I think the budget's about $55,000 for the study.
Is it still accepting proposals?
No. That period is closed. We had, I think we had 4 proposals, and we rated them, reviewed them, evaluated, rated them, and made our selection for
There-
recommendation.
There is a new one that was out there that the fairgrounds applied for. So people can apply every year for that tourism grant. So it's not like it's a one and done. If you miss out on this, there's the opportunity out there
Okay,
to apply again.
okay.
I think that's enough questions
Okay.
for me.
Any other questions? Okay. All right, we're gonna move on. The next item on there, we have a MOU, memorandum of understanding review process. And, I think it's pretty obvious that, we kind of struggle with our memorandum of understandings. And I know we have 2 people here that have struggled mightily here recently. And I think what we need to do is we need to try to figure out how we can, review the process, number one, and see what we can do to kind of streamline the process as much as possible. But also maybe take a look at, having a checklist of items that should be included in about every, memorandum of understanding that we can give to whoever is gonna be, bringing the memorandum of understanding up to our board or up to the city council or the land use committee, so that they can make sure they have a checklist and have pretty much everything that needs to be in a memorandum of understanding included in it. Now, I know that every MOU is gonna be a little bit different. It's gonna change a little bit, whether the MOU is talking about development of a facility or using a facility or managing and operating a facility. But there should be some commonalities that we can kind of put together. And on top of that, I think that it would be helpful if we had sort of a template, an example of MOU that people could use to kind of guide themselves through the process. So I have talked to Melissa, and Melissa has agreed because of the experience she just went through, her and Tom, to help out in that effort. And I would like to have one other person on our board to work with Melissa and myself in putting this review and sort of a template and the guidance of an MOU together. So I'm searching for
A hand? He just raised his hand. Luke raised his hand.
Yeah, I'm happy to do it.
Okay,
Yeah.
you all right with
Since
that,
I just
Mary
went
Jo?
through it with them.
Okay,
Yeah.
good,
Okay,
all
Luke
right.
and Melissa.
And I think probably what we should do is just, to make it official, we should probably have a motion to assign Luke, myself, and Melissa as part of a committee to take on this endeavor.
So moved.
So move, we have a second?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Hi.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Melissa and Luke, for agreeing to help out with this.
Mhm.
The next item we have is renewal of the Bee City USA, and Rod, you're going to handle that one.
Yeah. Okay, so Red Lodge is a bee city for, you guys know what that is and has been for a long time. There's a organizational,
Is that
nationally
Mike's dog?
called, Bee City USA, and we're part of it. I think we're the only city in Montana. It kind of has fallen off the radar the last couple of years. I got an email, just a random one, which I forwarded to Dave and the city, and they're pursuing the paperwork so we can continue doing the Bee City business here. It's kind of like, Arbor Day type thing. So what I'd like to do, I've talked to Lonnie a little bit. She's doing the paperwork for us. but I'd like to have a subcommittee that would agree to work on the Bee City Committee. Any volunteers?
Well, tell us what we need to do.
I don't know yet. It's all kind of
What are we
new.
signing up for here?
But you'll
Yeah.
really be busy.
Yeah, we're trying to find some projects. Roger mentioned potentially in the new Creekside property, maybe putting, some bee habitat, pollinator habitat down in there. When we get to that point,
Rod, I'll,
you'll do it?
the garden club might be a good contact.
Yes, and I was wondering if there was anyone from the garden club that might want to do that as well.
I'll be happy to ask at the next meeting, which is at the end of the month, if anyone's interested.
That would be awesome. You have a meeting at the library mid-March?
It's coming up on the 27th.
Okay, 27th.
How many members do you want to have on the committee?
I think 3,
Three?
yeah,
Okay.
should be enough. So if we can get Mary Dell and someone from the garden club and myself, I think that'd be
Okay.
sufficient. There's never been a committee in the past. Usually, the city planner did everything in the past. So this would be a new endeavor to keep it going.
Okay.
And that's it.
All right. Do we, put this on the agenda for next month then?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be a good idea.
All right. We're gonna skip over the next event because Sarah isn't here, but or not event, but, topic. About time, we need to start thinking about some kind of, public event regarding Earth Day or Arbor Day or combining the two. And, we talked about having some type of volunteer appreciation program. Possibly we could tie it all together into one single event. Sarah was gonna be doing some work on that. She's out of town because her sister just had a baby, so she's out helping her, so we'll move that to the next agenda as well, or the next month's agenda. And typically, we've kind of had, Mike, we've had those tree plantings, it hasn't been really at Arbor Day, it's been kind of in May or June, hasn't it?
Yeah, well, we just kind of, we picked what day we wanted.
Yeah, when the weather's, cooperating.
Is there another plan to plant more trees this year? Do we have locations for more trees?
We have a few trees left over, they're overwintering up at, Baldwin's that we're probably gonna get out. I still have two stumps, two or three stumps to grind yet in Penn Park. But yeah, we'll find somewhere.
Okay, so we'll put that on, the April agenda for, more detailed and further discussion. And so that leads us right into, Mike, park projects updates.
Okay, a couple of things. I got approached by, Jennifer Drinkwater, I'm not sure which one. She was part of the committee when they did the skate park, and there was a couple outlying things left out that hadn't got done yet. One of them was a drinking fountain that they wanted to put in there. So, we're starting to have a conversation about that. It would be in that, let's see, it'd be in that kind of front southwest corner, right by the fire hydrant probably. The other thing they want to do was, you know, there's signs back there on the garbage, and it's just this little kind of icky looking sign. They want to do something nicer, kind of out front, maybe right south of where that bench is, and then it would provide a little shade, a bench, something that would have, you know, basically this same message, but in a nicer format.
Is that sign rules and regulations or something? I can't-
Yeah, it's that same one that's there, they just wanna make a nicer one and have it more out front where people can see it.
Okay.
And then they wanna put in one of these little things like we had for the bikes.
Oh, yeah.
Station for
Yeah.
skates, boards. We're working with them, and It's gonna be, we gotta do a little more work, just to make sure we can have enough room there to get a meter pit in for the water. Try and design it in a way that we can blow it out good, so that, like with the fountain up here, we have to hire a plumber to come in and run glycol through it every year, and then redo it in the spring. I'm trying to make this one easier, so I don't have to hire a plumber twice a year.
Put a compressor on it and blow it out.
We're working on, I'm gonna skip to the new park area, or whatever you wanna call it. Part of the grant that got that was written into the grant from I believe when Courtney first put in for it, was for some bank reconstruction work that had to occur there. We are in the design phase of that right now. There is money in the grant to pay for it, and I think based on the bank project we did last year down on 9th and Cooper, we have enough money to cover it. I'm hoping that work will probably happen this summer. I mean, it's gonna happen before anything else happens in that park.
Yeah.
It's gonna be excavators rebuilding the bank from the bridge down about where those trees are, which is like 200 feet. So,
That's gonna be along the primary, the west bank?
yeah, west bank. We're not working on the other side. We had a meeting with Tennis today, and we went over, kind of the engineer's estimate for cost, and he did it in a couple of different, he had a couple different options. Basically, there was 4 options, looking at it 2 different ways. The number 1 preferred alternative from the geotech was to just over-excavate the entire site and then bring it back. That was a pretty expensive one. Along those lines, there was 2 different ways to do it: have the court staggered on the hill or just flat. So they did both cost estimates for both those layouts with an over-excavation, and then they also did those 2 layouts with what's called Rams aggregate piers, instead of where you only excavate certain areas down to native soil, and then bring out structural fill to set the post-tension slab on. That was quite a bit cheaper. I think the option where everybody's looking at was the 1 level, and on the Ram aggregate piers, it was around, it's pretty loose right now because we didn't include any amenities in this estimate. With a 12% contingency, it was just under $1 million, $955, something like that. It looks feasible. It looks like it'll fit on the site. There will be, when it's done, the way the slope comes down to the ball fields down, it'll be kind of like that. Basically, if you look at the hill like this, gonna kind of split the difference and put the slab here. So on the east side, there'll be a slope down to the tennis courts, and on the west side, there'll be a slope down to Cooper.
Okay.
It'll be about equal.
So it'll be kind of stair step down like that?
Yeah, it's about 11 feet difference from Chambers, 11 to 12 down to Cooper. So we're just gonna kind of split and have 5 and 5.
Do we get into the coal slack?
We're gonna have to take, and we're gonna have to take where the rammed aggregate piers go, they're gonna remove the coal slack, that's gonna be hauled off, and then we're gonna bring in fill material.
Okay.
Has the city council approved the site?
They have not yet.
We're waiting on the report.
Yeah. Mike, is there gonna be, the slopes, will there be retaining walls associated with those slopes?
With the 2-level situation, there was a retaining wall between
the courts.
But also, because of the way Chambers kind of wraps around there, there's gonna be a small retaining wall on the northeast side, like 64 feet of wall to keep keep the hill up there from coming down on the courts.
Okay,
It would, because in doing it that way, we're gonna, up the middle of the court, so like halfway down Second Street there, you'll hit a sweet spot where the tennis court and the sidewalk's gonna be at about the right, same elevation, and that's where would have probably the access, and then it would have ADA access.
so that'd be kind of halfway between, Chambers and, is that Cooper?
Yes.
About halfway down
About
that.
midway.
Okay.
The other, and that's, anything else with tennis? That's kind of,
But then another question, so that does include some of the other amenities like a storage area or restroom
that was-
facilities or,
that was, all the dirt work, post-tension slab, surface striping, fence, nets, windscreen,
That's about it.
I think that was about it, yeah.
okay.
Didn't
They're gonna
include-
refine further the cost.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're,
Pretty close.
basically this step was, you know, it was a refined estimate, a hard look at the slope and the conditions and a hard look at that geotech report, really, first step.
Yeah.
Any other tennis questions?
Yeah, the trees. Are we gonna try to save the trees?
No.
I would vote for no.
So, and.
Where are we gonna plant them?
Huh?
Where would we plant them?
Well, that's a project.
But where would we plant them at?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
What about the evergreen trees? Is there any way to save them?
No.
What, how do you know?
I just know. Not gonna happen.
Oh, my goodness.
What, so the trees down on Cooper at the lower end,
Yeah,
they're gonna have to be gone too? And all the trees on the site?
pretty much.
What are the folks
Barb?
who,
Oh,
sorry,
Trees
go ahead.
and tennis courts don't go together.
Well,
So I did talk to, when we were doing our initial planning and costs, about the trees that got planted out there recently. I talked to an industry person, they said, not likely they would survive being taken up and replanted. He said, best option is buy some new trees and plant them. So that's our intent. Whether they go at the they won't go right next to the tennis court.
Right.
Maybe on the back of that, or someplace else where you guys would direct.
So you'd replace them, but just wouldn't be able to reuse them.
I can't hear
You won't reuse the trees, you're
Thought
just
they
gonna
would-
put new
He
ones.
thought they wouldn't survive.
Yeah.
So he recommended against. He said it's probably wasted effort, buy new trees.
And that'd be part of the tennis court project,
Well, that's what we're planning,
yeah.
yeah.
Luke, did you have a comment?
yeah, so if you're like living in one of those, little townhomes on the corner of First and Cooper, what's it look like if you look east? If you're the guy right on the corner, what's it look like?
There'll be a 4-to-1 slope coming up, like, can't remember what it was,
From the street.
like, from the curb.
Uh-huh,
No, there's no curb there.
5 feet,
But from the edge of the street is like 4 or 5 feet,
Yeah.
just the grade that is there now, and then it'd be a 4-to-1 up about 4 feet.
okay,
4 to 5 feet, and then there's an 8-foot flat.
Okay.
But it has a 2% slope on it,
Yeah.
coming towards the west, and then the fence and the tennis court.
so is there gonna be, so we'll be looking at some sort of, like barrier, like a retaining wall backside, or not, just
No.
dirt to tennis court and the complex?
A 4-to-1 you can mow.
Okay.
It'll be great.
All right, and so it's not gonna be egregiously taller than what they are looking at right
No,
now?
it's not like if we were to take that elevation of Chambers. and-
From the top, yeah, that's what I was
No,
envisioning.
nothing like that.
Okay,
But
that's
where
great.
we're coming down.
Yeah.
by.
That's really good.
So it's just kind of find the sweet spot.
Yep,
So how far from where a curb would be, I guess, from the edge of the road to where how much distance?
There'll be, I'm going off my memory here, but I believe there's like a 4 to 5 foot strip, and then it would go up at a 4-to-1 slope
Okay,
for 4 to 5 feet in height, so, and then there's 8 feet, so like from the curb to the fence, I'm guessing you're looking at 25, 30 feet, that's something, yeah, I can get, well, as we move through this, we'll have a better,
Yeah, at some point, you can bring the engineering drawings in, or we can look at them.
yeah, once we
at the
get them,
meeting. Okay,
oh, definitely,
Great.
we can look at them.
good.
So what's the timeline moving forward now that you have this study done?
We're gonna try to, we gotta have a conversation, the next step is to have a conversation with the mayor and figure out what the council wants them to present to approve. And then I think we can roll. Our goal is to have design done late May, early June, go out to bid in June, perhaps have a contractor awarded by July, and that is a very optimistic schedule. If we're able to maintain that, I'll be surprised.
Okay, do you want me to have Chelsea put it on land use and planning for this meeting? Are you guys ready to come talk about, no?
I mean, I guess,
Okay.
well, no,
I'm just asking
I
like
think
the
we are, we have a
At least
concept,
give
we
an
have a
update.
price.
Okay.
I don't know what, I guess the question would be what the council wants presented in order for them to make the approval for that property to be used as tennis court.
Okay, yeah, I would start taking it to land use and planning now so they can, get that set up. You know, obviously it's gonna be budget, what you'll need from the city and what it's gonna look like at the end. And then, you know, the MOU with the user group and the high school and all of that good stuff.
And we've got some
So,
other things to clean
yeah.
up. There is an easement for the wildlife sanctuary that goes right through the tennis courts, so we have to clean that up. Their road access easement was actually right where we planted those trees at.
Oh, but they moved the road, right?
Yeah, but
But
the
it's
easement's
still
still
there?
on some
Okay, I
paper,
gotcha.
so that has to be rectified.
Okay.
The boundary for the school actually goes into that,
Right.
so
Right.
that needs to be rectified. There's a lot of stuff that needs done yet.
Okay, well, I'll tell Chelsea to put it on there, and I don't know if you can make the land use and planning meeting.
When's that one?
It is
Monday,
Monday.
4:30.
Thank you. Monday at 4:30,
Oh, yeah.
and then you can stay for public.
Monday at 4:30 is my meeting, and I'm not on land use and planning.
Is it 7:30 in the morning?
No, that's at minimum, No, we're at, 4:30 on Tuesday.
I come on Mondays late in the afternoon for something.
Okay, land use and planning is,
It's Monday at 4:30.
is it 4:30 or 5:30?
That's Betty.
Right before public works.
Okay, yeah, that's land use and planning.
Okay.
Okay, so Mike,
How's your fundraising going, Barb?
Good. This preliminary cost is probably an extra 100,000 from what we figured we'd have to raise. So, and we can't move ahead until we know for sure about the resort tax money, which will be in your guys' budget for the year, next year. So, there's some big pieces hanging out there
Yeah.
still.
any other questions? Yes.
So we're a designated tree city, and we planted these trees recently, and we're going to destroy these trees. But did I hear somebody saying passing, or did I imagine it just now, that there was going to be money set aside from the tennis project to get other trees that could be planted elsewhere? Or did I just make that up?
No, that's close. We're gonna come back to this board with where do you want that tree investment to go?
Great,
Or
okay,
shrubs or whatever ends up.
great,
Yeah,
okay, thank you.
yeah. Because there was a concern from the very beginning about just what you said. Yeah.
All right. Mike, do you have,
Good on tennis?
yes, so, let's move on.
Pride Park, I've been working on that some. I got a little picture here. Things are evolving a little bit. See if I can move this, make it too much of a mess. we had a couple different renditions we were working with. One was with these curved lines in the planters, one was with, more angular, kind of like they are now. It seemed like everybody liked curved lines more, in working with contractors and thinking about how we form these out of concrete and everything. I believe we're moving to like a cut paste block look like this, because that will make making the curves much easier and probably cheaper. There would be a cap on top of this, I just don't know how to draw it in there. An accent cap on top of the planter. I met with, Jerry from the garden club this morning, we went over some stuff. We're about, I'm waiting on a few calls from contractors, but I feel like we're getting closer to, collecting some bids for the work. The way that I'm envisioning this is that Public Works crew would go do all the demo work, take out the existing slab, do whatever we need to do with the water and electrical underground, and then have contractors come in and this is gonna evolve either, I don't know which is gonna come first, the planters or the slab, and so it'll probably be two different contractors, one stone mason, one that would do the slab. I think we have a lot of the details hammered out, other than the bench material. We're not sure what, I think, we're still looking at options for that because of the curved nature of it. It makes it a little trickier, but we'll come up with something. And I did have a conversation with the Resort Tax about possible another funding opportunity.
Yeah, I was public.
And I think that, I'm gonna have to, what was that, Montana Main Street or something?
Yeah, the Main Street program, the current grant that's open right now is for the Community Foundation for their parking lot. But that grant will be closed out, by November. And, so they are looking for, shovel-ready projects in the downtown business corridor. You know, and they have to be basically affecting tourism and the downtown Main Street area. But this project would be.
I was thinking about for the
Yeah, for the mural. So we are, by November, we have, the applications will be open again. And so improvements to a downtown area like this, would fit in their guidelines. Usually the grants average about 50,000, so they're smaller projects, and then you'd have a match through, like, Resort Tax or like in-kind.
That might be an opportunity if we want to do something with that wall. We could put together a little project that would, you know, I don't know what, I like Tom's idea of putting the old mural back. But, I mean, so there's a, you know, if that's something that we want to pursue, we would want to get kind of a concept put together and a project, and then maybe we can go try and get some of that money and make that happen too. So.
Just a couple questions on the grant. Would your in-house work, could that part of that be used as a match too?
Oh, yeah, I think we'll figure that. Okay. I think we can.
Yeah.
If we can get the grant, I feel like we can figure out the match.
Yeah.
Kind of the curvilinear benches, could that be made out of concrete? And
I'm gonna have the guy at Lockwood Precast look at it.
Yeah.
They've been really helpful so far, and they're pretty creative. The other thing that I was thinking about, you know, the problem was using plastic. I think in the original concept drawing that Second Nature did, they had kind of wood-looking material, but they didn't lay it along like you normally would. It was just, you know, like 2x8s pointing out. That could be an option, but we wouldn't really be able to use probably that synthetic decking then, because it would be cut and exposed. So I was thinking, I'm gonna look into this more. We talked this morning about using something like teak that's real durable and doesn't rot, and and then maybe we wouldn't even have to do any finish on it, because teak just kind of takes the natural gray look to it, might look good.
One of the things on the benches, it's kind of, you know, sort of cantilevered out there, but, and then you have a space underneath it. If you had if from the bench it went a solid wall, solid wall underneath it, then you get debris and litter and everything gets underneath the benches, and it's kind of more of a maintenance item. If it was solid under there, it might relieve some of that. Just a thought.
Is a welded metal bench too expensive? I'm wondering,
Might not be.
I'm wondering whether somebody like,
Wonder if it'd be hot.
we have, Black Alley could make a bench that curves and fits and have supports underneath
I'll
it.
look into that.
Okay. Good. Any other? Oh, yes, Steve.
Right. Mike, is there a bench planned? I couldn't quite tell from the diagram on the north side of the planter.
Is there?
Right there. Yeah.
Just like where the benches are now.
That's what that brown thing is, I think.
Yeah, there you
That's
go.
pretty much how it is now, I think.
Yeah, but I can't see the north side of the planter.
You can
Rotate it 180.
you can see it, Steve.
The north side of the south planter.
Oh, yeah, it's the
Sorry.
same. Yeah.
Right there. You can see it.
Okay. Great, thanks.
Yeah, and I think, while we're doing it, we talked too on the very, west end of Pride Park, there's a little flower bed right by the alley, and it's not really a defined bed. It's just kind of, and then it gets full of stuff and weeds, and I think while we're in there working, we're just gonna put in a little, like an 18-inch, kind of like those circular ones in there, back there, just to define that space and make it less weedy and easier to work on, and, more of its fine space between the alley and there. I think that's it on Pride Park, unless there's no more questions, and the only other thing I have is, I had Tom submitted a request for the, Frisbee golf for some, $4,500 for some materials to help with that. That we would just use that on Parks project, and I don't have any problem with that.
Yeah.
So if anybody has any problem with that, then let me know. But otherwise, we're gonna use some of that Parks project money for that.
Sounds good.
And that is all I got right now that I can remember.
Good. All right. Ready to move on? Let's go to, next item is park request to Public Works for upcoming fiscal year budget. We talked in the last meeting about if any members of the board had some ideas of projects and, for budget consideration to email, Mike, what your idea is, and if you have a ballpark figure of what it might cost. I know I sent you an item. Did anybody send anything to Mike? You didn't see it?
I don't think I got it.
No.
That's my email.
Yeah. Did anybody else send anything?
I didn't say anything.
Okay.
I did not.
I don't have any requests for public.
No, okay.
Is it too late for that?
Well, I was gonna ask Mike. Do we have,
Okay, so if we got them, send them.
Yeah, just,
Okay.
just shoot me an email or
All right.
whatever.
what I would suggest is that maybe if we can send them in before our next meeting, maybe we can talk about each item at the next, board meeting. Give Mike time opportunity to look at it. You haven't seen it, Mike?
No, I did not.
Oh. Okay, well, I'll resend it.
Did the soccer shed make the slate?
I'm sorry,
Did the soccer shed make the slate?
I don't know. I'm not sure what the status on
With
the
that
soccer shed is.
She called me, she was gonna get, I can't remember what she said, he called and wanted to get together, and I said, sure, and then I never heard from her.
Is this Beth?
You might have been gone that meeting. It might have been the one you missed a couple back. They
Okay.
presented, they want to put a soccer shed that
No, I
stays
remember-
up there permanently.
Yeah, I
Remember
remember that, but I'm
I
not
think
sure what the status is.
I think that's it.
Okay,
I haven't heard anything about it.
all right. Well, so let's do this. If you have an idea of a project, you should find it.
That's the one about Parks Master. Plan.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and if that, you know, if that's something we want to budget for, then definitely.
Well, I think it's
You
just,
put that in
I think it's,
our tax budget next year. I thought that was a line item in there.
Yeah, it might be, I'm not sure.
I saw it in there somewhere.
I
Yeah,
looked
I
at it
think we
recently, and I didn't see it.
We had talked about it, at our last resort tax board
Yeah.
meeting. Tom Coons actually had put it up there as a project for resort tax, so
Okay.
definitely.
The two items I submitted to Mike and a little bit, one of them is the updating the comprehensive park master plan. It's over 10 years old, and I think it probably needs to be looked at. And I just guessed a dollar amount. I know that.
Yeah, I think it'd probably be less than that, but we can.
I think I put $60,000 to $70,000, but it might be less than that. And then I think we ought to be thinking about, now I'm not sure if it's covered in the FEMA grant, but start thinking about some kind of a master plan or design for the Rocky Ford Park.
That's not covered in that. grant.
Okay.
That
I
we're-
I think it'd be nice to have that professionally designed and with the idea of, even though we don't have the property yet, this is a little bit different, but even with the idea of seeing how that would complement and move into the Eagle Nest area if we develop that too, so that we have a uniform, comprehensive plan of that whole area. Yep. And I just threw in about 20,000 on that one, thinking it'd be more of a conceptual plan at this point. So, but if, I would encourage you, if you have something you think that needs to be taken care of in the parks, that has a budget impact for the next budget year, to send Mike an email, and then we can put that on our agenda for next meeting in April, and we can kind of talk about the ideas of projects.
I'll double check.
Okay. All right. Any other questions regarding that issue, that item?
It is in the tentative resort tax.
Is it?
Mhm.
Okay.
For 50,000. Part
50,000?
master plan with coal miner, parking, the whole area.
I just went through that. I must have just missed it somehow. All right, so we're at the park ambassador reporting. So why don't we go around? We'll start with you,
Well,
Ann.
I haven't darkened the door of the dog park in a couple months. Not going there, it's muddy, so I have nothing to report. I hope it's all is well.
Okay.
Honest.
Yeah.
That's me.
Roger, do you have anything?
For good or for ill.
Yeah, Field School Park, the tennis courts. I was out there the other day, and I had heard rumors that those courts are already falling apart.
Really?
Yeah. So I walked around there, and there's a lot of cracks. A lot.
We'll look at it tomorrow.
Yeah, I was pretty stunned. It's the old cracks coming right back up.
Yes, I cringe to see all those cracks returning. But we do have a maintenance contract with the pickleball community
Like 3 years, isn't it?
for 3 years, and I'm hoping they will address the cracks, or at the very least, train me how a professional court maintenance person maintains the
Yeah,
cracks.
there's quite a few cracks, isn't there?
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
displacement.
No displacement.
No,
It's mostly looks like a expansion
crack?
type crack.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Is it in the area where it was sunken before, in that same area?
It's pretty much everywhere.
Really?
Yeah, it's in that sunken area and the end lines and a lot of places that the cracks had been previously repaired. Yeah.
I'm surprised we haven't heard anything from the pickleball users.
No, Lindsay actually was in there playing tennis, and
You
she
just
said,
did.
You just did, yeah.
There's a little settlement from last, spring's excavation. Not surprising, but, because that was a big hole, but
Yeah,
it's enough to annoy the tennis players.
Yeah,
okay.
Hmm.
Anything else, Rod?
that's all I got for.
Okay, I have nothing for, Rotary Park or Finn Park, so.
Oh,
Luke?
can I back up
Yep.
real quick? There was some discussion about a camera for the skate park. Is that something that's still happening or being discussed? Because of the vandalism, somebody had mentioned it.
No, I don't know anything
We-
about it.
We, talked about it at council, and I called, 7 or 8 cities in this area, from Lewistown to Cody to Livingston. No one's really interested in cameras. Just, money, organization, or, they're getting, people don't like being looked at. The only park that had a camera was, there's evidently a park in Laurel called Kids Kingdom, and there is a camera in that kids park, but nothing else.
Good
I
to
would say
know.
it's kind of dead.
Okay.
Thank you.
Luke, do you have anything?
Yeah, Airport Loop, McGillen Trail, or, basically, those just need signage. So whenever we figure out the signage stuff with the subcommittee, did anything happen the last meeting that I wasn't here for? Okay, yeah, so we need a sign at the bottom and top of McGillen, and then a couple of road crossing signs for the Airport Loop going down the, east side of the airport. Coal miners, I don't really, is there anything going on with the disc golf? You guys got approval, is that correct? By the city, not yet?
We're in a weird
No.
place that we're not sure where we are, but we'll get
Oh.
it figured out.
Okay, yeah, just let me know.
Okay.
Let me know if we can help.
It's more just like we're a little unclear on, what the next step is. I haven't received a signed MOU or a final MOU back. And I think, based on Mike's comments about addressing school lease boundaries to deal with the tennis courts, that impacts some of what we're doing. And so I'm not in a panic, it's not gonna happen, it's
Okay.
not just, we're in,
We did approve it though, right?
we voted to approve the
Thank you. I'm like,
MOU.
so it's
and
not in council anymore,
it's-
it's,
Well, and it wasn't clear whether there was a second reading, that's a little fuzzy
No.
to me.
no, it wasn't an ordinance, so it was a single reading.
Yeah.
So it's supposed to be signed once it's right. And you passed a resolution that the mayor can sign it
Yes.
when it's correct. So right now, I'm waiting for it to be correct and review the final document before one of us puts our signature.
Yeah.
Because that binds us equally.
Okay.
I'm glad you brought that up, because I was at the council meeting, and I went home, and I thought about that, I thought, now what exactly happened? Where are we on
What?
this?
It was with amendments, and then it was based on the fact that you would get the MOUs with the high school for the holes that are on
Yeah.
the high school lease,
Yeah.
because we couldn't approve those.
I remember that part of it.
Yeah, so we need to get that ironed out, so at some point, some communication, or we need to find the existing, squirrel, forgive me,
Mhm.
but maybe we could find the lease, that we signed with the school as a city that explains that the existing use of the disc golf and any use like that is acceptable, and then we don't have to do this. But it would seem to me we'd have that legal document somewhere, but I've learned that is, I guess,
Okay.
so.
Okay.
I'm not being part, just, if we could find the lease,
Yeah.
it might be a good start point to understand, because this boundary issue affects the soccer shed,
Yep.
it affects the tennis court, it affects disc golf holes,
Yeah.
and it affects the trails.
Yeah.
Like, you are technically
On that property.
on, all of those user groups are currently on school lease property. And if most of us have outdated, non-current MOUs, and if we're going to refresh them, they should be all handled the same way.
Yeah.
So,
Hopefully
Agreed.
there is an original document somewhere that allows recreational use on that property. Finding it might be really difficult, though.
and if that's
who is the best person to actually chase that down?
Is it the school or the sanctuary?
Well,
No.
no.
School.
Would Jody, would that be the clerk's office?
Mhm. Yeah, it would be, yeah, contact Lonnie or, the high school would probably also have a copy of it.
But
Either
fair-
one of them
Or
should
they
have
Try
one.
to run down
Maybe.
Yeah,
somebody else.
yeah, I
Better
would
served
say,
to do it?
no, I would say Lonnie probably, here, you
Lonnie
know.
or Danae.
Danae, yeah.
Danae's got pretty good handle on where stuff's at.
Yeah. Hopefully it wasn't downstairs in the basement.
But, speaking of, Coal Miners Park, how about the work on the road in the
I
parking
think
area? How's it?
That's pretty up in the air right now. We were hoping that, because we were, the cost estimate we were working off of, the bids came in under, so we had a little extra money. So we were gonna try and add some streets on. Normally, with the people we get grants from, like from NSEP and RGL and stuff like that, it's pretty simple to do. This EDA grant is a little different animal, and I don't think they're gonna let us add anything on, but we're still waiting to find out. That said, I haven't totally given up on trying to get that piece of chambers done around up there. Like I said, we did come in under, we kind of over budgeted a little bit, so there might be enough money there. Even if we can't use the grant money, we might be able to get it done while we got the contractor here. We don't have to pay a mow fee, we're just paying unit
Sure.
costs. We might be able to get it done, so.
Okay.
Are you talking about the little round piece of dirt in front of the wildlife
It would
sanctuary?
be from the intersection at Second and Chambers.
Uh-huh.
North.
Going north.
Yeah.
And then around that circle with like a full curb and gutter on the west side. Around the circle, and then there'd be like a valley gutter kind of coming down the
Yeah.
east side, the way we have it drawn.
Okay.
So it would be a really big improvement up
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
And it would help with
Huge.
a lot of things with drainage, with
Yeah, that'd be huge.
What kind of timeline are you hopeful for?
where that project's already awarded, so they're gonna start work in a month probably. I don't know when they're gonna start, but they could start in a month,
Okay, so it could be in by this summer then,
maybe,
maybe.
yeah.
All right. That's great, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a for sure thing right now.
Yeah.
We're working towards it, and, you know, as an add-on, I don't know if that would come at the end of the project, and I don't know how fast this project's gonna progress. I can't remember how many contract days they have, but, I'm assuming they're gonna try and get everything done in one season, so they don't have to.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
Anything else, Luke?
Yeah, Melissa, so if you guys need, if you come up in any barriers, you're like, hey, this is not, please reach out to me. You can CC Roger if you want, and we'll try to work, especially if we're gonna start going over the MOU stuff together. Beartooth Trails is probably just gonna ride your coattails on that, whatever we come up with, because they need to redo theirs, obviously, as will everybody else. And then as far as like just general park, or just, you know, we're kind of waiting until spring to see what needs to get fixed and updated. So that's all I had for that.
Okay, good. Mary Jo?
Nothing new at Van Dyke.
Okay, all right. Okay, so, future agenda items, I've got one item that for consideration be V-City USA for the next meeting, and we mentioned another one, the, future agenda items as far as park requests for the upcoming budget. So, we're back to, citizens' comments. Yes,
I have one comment. I did a little research
can you
through
come
the
up?
internet.
Would you mind coming up a little closer so you're near the microphones?
Tell us your name.
Oh,
Yeah, tell us your
Steve
name.
Wrights, 215 Nutting. I did a little research into Red Lodge's Parks and Recreation website,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it's needs to be updated on meetings, when the meetings are.
Well, what, What did you find out when the meeting, when did?
It's not the first Wednesday of the month.
Yeah, I thought we had corrected that when we redid our bylaws. Evidently, that hasn't been changed on the website. We'll have to make sure that's changed. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Any other comments? Tom?
Yeah, Tom Foley, 106 Adams Avenue South. It's been discussed before, but I'd like to just bring it back up for consideration, is that a community park calendar for all the different user groups would be really advantageous for, I think, to partly eliminate any conflict or, you know, just a public service to know when scheduled events are happening and where.
Okay.
So I don't think it's a big ask. It's just a public-facing calendar that the different user groups could put in their dates. There's a tournament or league play or practice, just so that people can look to see if it's a good time to use the park or not.
Yep.
Okay, good.
I'm not trying to problem solve too deeply, but like, I see that there is a Google account associated with the city because a lot of the ward, council members all have Gmail email addresses. You can get the script from Google and dump it onto the park's calendar I'm not going to say very simply, but quite simply, and give back-end access for the park ambassadors or somebody specific to post items in there, but it's a fairly straightforward fix that's not complicated if we've already got, it appears to me that Google Drive and Google is being used by the city for data management and stuff. You probably already have an account.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I think that's a reasonable request.
I do
I know
too.
other cities, you go to their website, this is not like recreating the wheel, they do it.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, it's a good request.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea.
Okay, any other comments from the room here? Okay, we're gonna go to online. Any comments? Going once? Twice, 3 times. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, everybody. Did I take a nap? Did we not do the hiring manager recruiting? Yeah, this guy.
Yeah, I wish I could answer your question, what's gonna be
Okay.
involved.
I just wanna make sure.
He's got something in work.
Courtney used to do all that.
Okay. That was the fastest meeting I've ever been part of. That's amazing.
We're getting better.
We are getting better. Good job.
Maybe we'll need more people.
Hey, thank you for agreeing to be on that,
Oh, you're welcome.
I will.
Yeah.
What I thought I'd do is, it's kinda nice to get out.